Okay, so I'm to the point where it's time to join two of the side corners and make a sleeve opening. So it's still a giant hexagon. I've crocheted all the way up this side from the front center till I reach the two side points. And I'm going to join, let me go ahead and I had an extra loop so I wouldn't accidentally pull out live stitches. So I'm going to join these two corners. Okay, I took out my markers, but this was an increase area right here where I did double crochet, chain one, double crochet, and then the same here, double crochet, chain one, double crochet. And that chain one spot is where I'm going to join it. So you just line those up, you yarn over like you're going to do a double crochet, and you go through the front and you make a double crochet, and then I'm going to also go in through the back, and you have to kind of twist your yarn around. It's kind of a tricky little maneuver. There we go. All right, so that's my join. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm just going to continue working double crochets. So I have created the armhole, right? And then I'm going to go into that next stitch after that increase with the chain one space, and I'm going to just continue working. All right, so this is what my join looks like from the right side, and it's going to be under your arm, so it's not that noticeable, but you can see I've kind of did that little crossover X stitch. That's just to stabilize it and give it a little bit of strength, because right where the sleeve, that juncture where your two sides and the armhole meet and the sleeve meets is always a weak spot, like where two leg openings meet on a pair of pants, and I just like to reinforce it, and this is what it looks like from the inside. So it's not that noticeable, and especially once you come in and continue working and you put your sleeve in, you're just going to have this tiny little bit of a space there. So that's how I join it. This really isn't meant to be worn without a shirt under it, because it's fairly open crochet. And then I just keep going, and I'm going to go ahead and come back and show you guys when I do the next one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue just double crocheting along the pattern. All right, I'm going to double crochet. This is my center back. I'm going to make the increase here. I'm going to keep making my increases in the center front and center back, and then I'm going to double crochet up the back point, and then when I get to the next side point, I'm going to join those two side points off and make my other armhole, and I'll come back and show you guys that when I'm ready. Okay, so I'm back, and I'm getting ready to close off the second armhole. I'm coming up to my next side point. This is my back center, so I went to my back center, did my increase as usual, did this span of the row till I came to the first of the two side point increases, and I'm going to join them together. So I'm going to go ahead and work right up to that marker where my increase is. All right. right, and this is the very stitch before the marker. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out so it doesn't get lost. And I'm going to go ahead and line everything up. So I'm going to line up my center back. All right, as you can see, this is the first join for the first armhole I made, right? Okay, and then I worked all the way down the back angle, straighten the front underneath. I worked all the way down the back to the back center point, made my increase, worked all the way up the other side of the back till I got to the two side increases, okay? And you see how I laid these on top of each other. I'm going to line that up. I'm going to go ahead and take out my markers because I'm not going to need them anymore. I'm not going to be doing any more side increases at all. I'm going to take my hook. All right. So I'm going to line these up. The chain one space on top of chain one space. All right. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to go through both chain one spaces. Okay. Bring through and complete my double crochet, and I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to bring it up through the back of the two chain one spaces and kind of flip my hook around. This is very, very confusing. You just kind of have to work it, okay? And then now that that's joined, I'm going to continue working the side. And this is headed towards the front center now. So let me get a few stitches in and I'll show you what I just did. All right, so again, there is my join. That is my armhole. There is my join with that little kind of crisscross stitch to reinforce it right there at the armhole, which is a stress point. And I'm going to continue working all the way over to the front center. I'm going to flip it over and work back, and instead of making an increase here, I'm just going to continue to work straight across with no increases on my side center. And that's what you do to join off your sleeves. And then you continue working the body of your sweater until it's as long as you want. I pulled my camera off of its little stand, my phone off of its little stand, and thought I would show you guys a little more about what I've done. So this is the front center, and you can see it's going to continue, as I continue making increases, it's going to flare outwards. And as I continue making my increases and lengthening at the front, it's going to continue doing that chevron and making a point in the front and the back. The sleeves, all right, this is what I just did, okay? I just joined, made sleeve openings. And as I continue, it'll just continue to grow at an angle as an A-line. So that's the front. All right, flip it over and show you guys the back. Same thing in the back, just not open in the back, it's closed in the back. So that's, and it's going to continue to make this point in the back. However, this point here stopped. Okay, so I'm no longer going to have this yoke, this little kind of yoke that goes on the shoulders. That's done. So it's just at the shoulders. I'm only going to get chevrons coming from the sides now. So that is how it's looking now. and I'll catch back up with you guys once I make some progress on the body to show you how that's shaping up.